You're a real estate listing agent and the perfect listing has just come up. You see a fantastic opportunity either as your own home or as a rental. But there's a problem. It's your listing. Can a real estate agent buy their own listing? There are a lot of responsibilities that a real estate agent has. The most important one, you must always represent your client to the best of your ability. But being both a buyer and the listing agent doesn't necessarily go against that. In fact, in many cases, it's the best solution for you both. What's going on, everyone? I'm Kyle Handy, a realtor and team leader here in San Antonio, Texas. I help teach other realtors, team leaders, and brokers how to grow and scale their real estate business through digital marketing, content creation, social media, as well as tried and true methods. And if you want proven strategies that you can use to get more leads, closings, and scale your team, you'll love this video. Keep watching. Before I get started, if you could do me a huge favor and hit that like button, I'd greatly appreciate it. Also, consider subscribing if you haven't already, as I release a new free training 3 times per week, as well as go live every Tuesday, and you won't want to miss any of it. Finally, if you'd like my free real estate business plan template to track your sales, commissions, profit and loss, net worth, and budget, head over to kylehandy.com/business plan to download it today. Okay, now let's get started. The first thing to cover is that your broker matters a lot. There's nothing legally against a listing agent buying their own listing, but there can be some complications depending on your broker. Some brokerages actually encourage their agents to purchase properties. This ensures that properties are purchased even if they don't sell on the open market. In fact, there are some brokerages that will buy the property themselves. They'll tell the client they guarantee a sale regardless of what happens. But there are other brokerages that will not allow a real estate professional to buy their own listing. And here's why. When a selling agent buys a property from their client, it can potentially be a conflict of interest. The realtor may offer less than the property is worth so that they can get a better price. A realtor must always act in their client's best interest. Not only does that mean that a realtor may not be allowed to buy their own listing, but they also may not be allowed to sell to family or friends. At a minimum, the seller's agent will likely need to disclose that they have a relationship with the buyer. So, can a real estate agent buy their own listing? The bottom line, it's not illegal or against the agent's license to buy their own listing, but it may be against the terms of their broker or their listing agreement. An agent should always check with their broker before they make a commitment to purchase a listing. If you have a cooperating broker, the only question will be how to broker the deal. Not sure the difference between the role of a broker and a real estate agent? Check out my other video that I'll link above. All right, so let's switch gears and let's talk about buying your own listing as a broker. So can a real estate broker buy their own listing? There are many real estate professionals who become brokers specifically so they can broker their own deals. After all, when you're both the buyer or seller and the real estate broker, you save a lot of money. You don't have to pay yourself real estate commissions, so you can either offer it as a concession to your client or just collect it all yourself. When you purchase your own listing as a broker, you're essentially operating with dual agency. Dual agency is when you represent both the listing party, your client, and the buying party, yourself. You get both commissions when you act as both the buyer's and seller's agents. If allowed, it can often be the best to act as a dual agent when you can, because you can make significantly more money from the transaction. But most of the time, when you act as a dual agent, you don't have yourself as a buyer. Acting as a dual agent saves you money on the transaction, but it always introduces issues with conflict. So let's talk about real estate ethics and dual agency. In real estate, ethical questions are introduced anytime that you act as a dual agent. Issues can arise, including, can you get your seller the best amount for their property if you're also acting as the buyer's agent? Also, can you negotiate on a potential buyer's behalf when you're working with the seller's property? And lastly, could you pressure the seller or home buyer to complete the transaction faster? As a professional real estate salesperson, you know that you'll act ethically, but these ethics could be called into question if, for instance, the seller feels that they could have gotten more for their home. These issues are somewhat mitigated by the fact that as representation for the seller, you don't need to sell the home to that specific buyer. If another buyer comes along with a better offer, it'd still be in your best interest to sell it for a better offer. Likewise, if you find a better home for your buyer, it'd still be in your best interest and theirs to sell them a better deal. And you can lose your real estate license if you aren't representing your clients to the best of your abilities. Still, because of these complications, some clients may want an exclusive buyer agent or an exclusive seller agent. You can only act with dual agency with the agreement of all involved parties. Acting as your own buyer's agent and buying a listing introduces other issues because you can no longer sell the buyer on just any home. You're interested in that specific home. A home seller may be concerned that you're misleading them about the state of the real estate market, having other qualified buyers, or that you're misleading them about the value of their home. Also, it might be seen that you're rushing them through the real estate transaction in hopes of getting a good deal. And lastly, you could be accused that you aren't seriously trying to sell their home because you're more interested in getting it for yourself. All these things could be considered a breach of fiduciary duty. So another option you could consider is buying your listing through another agent. If your brokerage firm does not allow a listing agent to buy their own properties, there's another possibility. You can ask your brokerage if you can switch listings. With multiple real estate agents involved, it's less likely that there'll be ethical issues. This does mean that you are going to have to pay the closing costs to a new listing agent, but you'll still be working as your own buying agent, so you won't need to pay the commission on that side. You're now representing yourself, and someone else is representing your client. Not every brokerage will agree to this, but with the right listing contract, a real estate attorney, and a mortgage broker, this type of transaction can go through just like any other type of transaction. So next, let's talk about ways that you can protect your client when buying their listing. As a real estate professional, it's in your own interest to act ethically when purchasing a client's listing. You could lose your license if you don't. Here are a few important aspects. Number one, disclose everything to your client. Full transparency is required when you're purchasing a client's listing. Talk to them about your agent's commission and everything that will change in the transaction because you're purchasing the listing. Number two, don't skip the small steps. You should still give your clients their earnest money. Even if they trust you, have everything looked over by a real estate attorney and complete all the paperwork and due diligence that you should. Number three, be earnest about trying to sell their property. Make sure it has a good listing on the MLS. Post it through all your usual venues and commit to as many showings as possible. Also, be willing to let the property go. No property is once in a lifetime. You've seen other buyers get tunnel vision. You don't want to do that yourself. If there's another better deal for your client, let them know. And lastly, talk to your broker early and often. Your broker may require you to go through additional steps to act as a prospective buyer, or they may want you to switch to a different selling agent. As long as you do everything by the book, you should be safe to purchase your own listing. But you do need to do everything by the book. Not only do you want to ensure that your license is without tarnish, but you also want to make sure that your reputation is unimpeachable. Many real estate professionals make a good deal of money by purchasing their own listings, as long as their real estate broker is on board. And many real estate brokerages make money by guaranteeing their clients that their properties will sell, if only to them. Acting as your own buyer's agent and purchasing your own listings can get you a foothold into deeper real estate investments and further methods of building wealth. So now on to some frequently asked questions that I get about real estate agents buying their own listings. Do you still pay brokerage fees when you purchase your own listing? Commission fees are split into 4 parts: the buyer's agent, the buyer's broker, the seller's agent, and the seller's broker. When you're working as the buyer's agent and the seller's agent, you'll still usually need to pay the buyer's broker and the seller's broker fees. But this does not depend on the transaction broker. Ask your brokerage first. Next, should you cut your own commission fees when purchasing your own listing? You can, but you don't have to. Cutting your own commission fees can make it more appealing for a seller to sell their house to you. You're essentially raising the amount they're getting. It also may show that you're operating in their interest as a good faith gesture. But you don't have to do that, especially if you have a very competitive offer. So how can you protect yourself when purchasing your own listing? Apart from ensuring that you act ethically, make sure that you have updated errors and omissions insurance. This is a special type of insurance for professionals. including real estate professionals, that can protect you from accidentally making a mistake or negligently omitting information. If it's found, for instance, that you missed an offer that would have been better for your client, E&O Insurance can help. If you liked this video, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel right now. Just click on the subscribe button below this video. Also, hit that thumbs up button and give this video a like, as it helps my videos reach more real estate agents looking to grow their businesses. And by the way, if you're interested in partnering with me at eXp Realty, head over to my partner page and check out the exclusive benefits that you receive. I'm passionate about helping agents win. I've already partnered with over 100 agents across the country to help them increase their real estate business and generate more leads, and I'm never too busy for you. When you partner with me, you receive free access to all of my current and future paid courses, which you can find on academy.kylehandy.com. Additionally, you get access to my private Facebook community called The Dream Team, where I go live multiple times per week. Head over to kylehandy.com/partner for more information. Finally, if you've made it this far, I want to thank you. Type #EndCrew into the comments to let me know that you watched to the end. And now I want to turn it over to you. Have you ever bought your own listing as an agent? Did you run into any issues? Until my next video, be well and get out there and sell some homes.